this is a lot of information from 40 years ago, so you kind of need to make sure it's upheld and people know what they're talking about instead of rumours and... Especially with big strings, because I'm used to them, it's just you have to pick hard to get the best from them.
What gauge strings are you using?
13 to 58.
So do you need bigger strings to get the Stevie tone?
Those are Stevie's settings from 18.8 onwards. I think the recording for Instep had 36.
36
all
amps.
at once.
Right, we're doing our best.
It's already sounding massive. Max.
120 decibels.
Still not louder than Stevie.
Hey guys, today we have the pleasure of being joined by the one and only Rhys John Steigel.
What's the kid with the hat doing?
You might have seen him taking over the world, playing with Buddy Guy, and recently gracing the stage at Antone's. Yeah, it is on 10. It is very...
It's only on 7.
Today, we're going to go on the ultimate quest for the Stevie tone. Throughout the video, I'm going to be well and truly picking Rhys's brains on how he gets that Stevie Ray Vaughan tone so close. Stick around to the end because some of these tones are truly mind-blowing. Yeah, let's go. You're literally a walking encyclopedia of Stevie knowledge. Like today you've been dropping absolute nuggets left, right and centre of how he got that tone. But not only that, some of the techniques that you do to achieve that Stevie thing, because you well and truly nail those nuances that I think a lot of the other Stevie kind of guys miss. Just, do you want to give us a little twang how you... You've brought your trusty Stevie Strat, and we have the Fender Deluxe Reverb going alongside the Vibroverb, the Fender Vibratone, and some EV speakers going as well for the Deluxe. It's just absolute mayhem in here. So on the floor, can you talk us through what we've put on the board?
This is the idea of Stevie Ray Vaughan's late pedalboard. Those are Stevie's settings from 18.8 onwards. But I mean, it's the same layout. The fuzz is first, Octavia is second, the wire is third, and then the tube screamer is fourth.
Can you give us a little bit of that Lonnie Mac fast Leslie thing? That was crazy. In the room, I have to stress, in the room, this is incredible. It's insane.
That's a really cool Leslie.
That is cool, isn't it? Like, so have you persuaded your mum yet to buy a Leslie?
I'm still looking for one. A lot of Lonnie's influence on Stevie was shown in Scuttlebutton.
Is it, am I right in thinking there's 2 ways to play Scuttlebutton?
Yeah.
Can you show us both ways?
The bends, and then there's... The studio was bends.
Yes.
And then the live recordings are usually slides, but I have seen some not very great quality footage of him bending live.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm sure you can find somewhere. It's like really short clips, but you can see him kind of bend up and his whole movement goes up with it.
Right.
But I mean, a lot of it's just Lonnie Mac. You just have to listen to Wham, and Lonnie was known for really crazy stuff with whammy bars too. He's the reason why a whammy bar is called whammy bar. It's because when they originally designed it, when Leo Fender designed it, it was called a tremolo arm. But when Wham came out, the Wham...
Really?
which Stevie would do. So a lot of, like, Lonnie's influence was very big on Stevie. I remember hearing, like, watching an interview and him saying that apparently Stevie's dad broke Stevie's first record, which was Wham, because he played it over and over and over again,
right,
trying to learn how to play. A lot of that is Lonnie. That is. That's Scuttlebutt.
Yes, yes.
The amount of stuff you kind of pick up from Lonnie and go, hang on, that's what Stevie did. Same thing when people talk about Albert King and Born Under a Bad Sign. You go, hang on, that's an Albert thing. All of Stevie's stuff is his influences. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing for people. Is people go, oh yeah, it's this or it's just that. Everyone listens to their influences, and you have to kind of learn from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's where Stevie learned. He learned Scuttlebutt from Lonnie Mac vinyls and a lot of country western stuff. We learned it from Stevie. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can learn about Lonnie Mac, and it's kind of funny that we're talking about Stevie and going into a Lonnie Mac discussion. But his a lot of his tone, a lot of the middle pickup stuff that he did was Lonnie influenced.
Right.
Which kind of goes back into the guitar almost. The neck pickup has a lot of Albert in it. And then the bridge is, again, more Albert, but you can kind of get more Freddie things from it. But he kind of used the pickups wherever he needed to. You could get like a lot of Jimmy with a fuzz on the bridge pickup. And again, the tone controls, they do something.
Yes.
And that's a big part of it. You just try and look for the tone, both on the neck and on the parts. It does that sound like they couldn't stand the weather and.
Wait, and also the reverb tail offs with
spins.
Oh yeah.
It spins.
So should we go on to the first pedal? Should we go into the drive first, the TS10?
So I mean, I was rolling the volume on 7. That's a natural kind of thing for me. But the volume on 10, that's as much as Stevie would get with the amps at that point.
Right.
And that's on 5 or 6.
But the smile said it all then. You see the smile is like...
Well, with the video...
You're really digging in super hard. I can feel it like right next to you. It's like, is that something that you consciously do too?
I don't think about it. I've always picked hard. Especially with big strings, because I'm used to them. It's just, you have to pick hard to get the best from them.
So what gauge strings are you using?
It's, at the moment it's a 12 on this one,
Right.
but it's usually 13
Right.
to 58. Usually it's 13, 15, 19 plain, 28, 38, 58.
So do you need bigger strings to get the Stevie tone?
It helps, but if your hands aren't meant for it, and not in that sort of way, but like if your hands are physically meant for another gauge, I think that's the thing. It's like some people feel most comfortable with 11s and their hands don't hurt. But if your hands don't like a heavy gauge, that's no problem. I mean, Tommy Katona, he uses 10s.
Oh yeah, wimp. No,
Tommy sounds incredible, and he's using the standard 10 to 46.
yes.
Where, I mean, yeah, the big strings add a certain
I
range.
feel like I can hear it.
Like the width of the tone is slightly larger and it's a bit darker sounding. Where the lighter strings do have a bit of a brighter sound, and you can't hit them as hard. That's kind of the reason why I use big strings, is because I hit the strings really, really hard. The other thing is you have to have the guitar set for it, and this has been set like this for ages.
Yeah, I've noticed at the nut, it's got like...
I've had to put paper in it because I've worn the nut down. And then I think it'd be cool if you tried if I hand this over to you and then...
I'm scared to try this. So what strings are these?
They're GHS.
Your custom set?
Yeah, they're custom sets. It's
12.
For now it's a 12, but I usually use a 13.
And that's a 58.
And that's 58.
That's... Oh no. I haven't got the...
A lot tighter.
You have to pluck 10 times harder to get the tone you get. So that's the thing. I feel like it might sound dull if I...
You have to really put your thumb under it and...
Do you mind clicking on that TS10? God, it's quite hard to play these.
It's a lot bigger of a sound, I think.
Yes.
And I think, obviously, strings don't help with that, really, because they're just...
I tell you what, though, you do suddenly acclimatise to them. It's not unplayable.
No, it's just taking a minute to let it settle in. It's like I have to kind of get used to even 11s.
Yes. That sounds nuts, doesn't it? That sounds crazy.
I mean,
what are you getting from it? How are you finding it all?
it's a lot bigger of a sound. Like, it's a lot larger and it's a lot more.
Because you don't normally play this volume at home, do you?
No.
This is loud.
This is usually gig.
Yeah, this is gig volume. I'm loving it though, because it gives you more of an impact when you're sat here like with you, because this is a visceral experience of like, oh my.
You get the air flowing and stuff.
So should we go on to the next pedals? What do you reckon? What are you feeling?
I'd say to go on to the fuzz, so then we can kind of see what the interaction with the...
Okay, great. Yeah. And the idea, obviously, behind the pedal Pawn Fuzz is that it is super interactive with your guitar's volume knob. So. That sounds just incredible. Like
got that same...
Can you give us a bit of the rolled up tone on the Leave My Little Girl Alone? You know, when he goes a bit. It's all there. It's all there. Mate, it feels like I'm on the Austin City Limits stage. It's crazy.
It has that kind of characteristic. That kind of in between. Yeah, I like the fuzz. That's fun because I mean, Voodoo Child. It's such a big character on it. I mean, the other thing I noticed is he's not using fuzz as a crazy effect. It's just enough. Where I think
almost like a drive.
Yeah, I think he's kind of mixing the TS10 and the. I mean, if I do a bit of Voodoo with the. It still interacts really well.
Yeah.
And also it does... Such a big...
That's loud. That's loud.
That like it's making the speakers add more treble.
It's also making the walls nearly fall down, isn't it?
Fuzzes do that, I think. I think that's their main characteristic. But I mean, the extra volume in that fuzz, in like the DS style, but also I think you've added more in yours than I remember trying the DS with you for the video.
Yeah.
And that sounded massive and it was really loud, but that's even louder, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely got, if you compare it to like a regular stock fuzz face kind of thing, you hear a lot of complaints about that, and you know, people saying that it just doesn't do enough live, but that you've got infinite amounts. So we'll go on to the Octone now, which, yeah, your mum doesn't like it. Poor woman. She's about to get absolutely decimated by this.
Yeah, I think I've kind of rolled the boost all the way down to
Yeah.
get a bit more of that Roger Mayer effect, because it's a
Yeah.
lot more of the note and not much gain. Where I think, as I said before, I think he was kind of mixing the two, using a bit more of a drive essence to it than a boost element. There are some footage with him with the Tiger Bray, and you can kind of hear a bit more gain on it. But I think that's just kind of how they sound naturally, because they're
Yeah.
really big sound.
Because even with the boost on the minimum setting, then you can't go into those Roger Mayer levels, can you? That's what we tried to do. We tried to have the boost so that when it's on the minimum, it's almost more clean than the Roger Mayer, but higher, it's even more fat than the Tiger Bray. So it's a bit of a
mix.
Yeah, which is good for players like us who want to
kind of get a mixture of sounds.
Yeah, definitely a good blend of, well, a good mixture of sounds, but also, like you say, you can get those ultra clean things, which is good if you're going to then stack gain elsewhere.
Or push it with the fuzz, which I think Jimi Hendrix did.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear Stevie doing that as well?
Not often. I think with Voodoo Child, I think he did.
Yeah, yeah. Which is, I mean, that's the most piercing sound in the world. But should we give it a go? Should we give it a go? That's crazy.
That's just level all the way up and boost all the way down. But imagine.
It's actually a very usable sound, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can. You can kind of use it for when rolling the volume back. You can kind of get more synth. Like, there's a lot of kind of keyboard sounds with that.
Yeah, I used to do a keyboard solo live with that. Roll the tone all the way down and then have the neck pick up and high up. Yeah, that's a synth, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I feel like we should try how Stevie did it.
Cover your ears, mum.
This is a great board.
Yeah, that is a really cool board. It looks cool as well, actually.
It's really simple, but it's just so big.
Not too much tweaking going on, but you know if you want an Octavia, it's like, boom, you got it. Mate, you've got to do that wah tone that you did before with the Leslie on the fast speed. And you held those notes, and the feedback that came through, I was like...
What, would you say the fuzz or the tube screamer? As the
Tube screamer, I'd say.
Okay.
For that say what? Well, however you do say what.
I mean, some people mix it.
Actually, to be fair, the fuzz gives you that extra sweetness, doesn't it? So.
That's kind of the cleaner stuff, but if you want... That's I think with that it kind of does the late sounds, but kind of mixing them, and I think rolling the fuzz back on it kind of I think kind of adds that more grit to the sound when you roll the volume up.
You've got that expressive thing going on. I mean, that's...
I mean, obviously, I'm not used to this kind of wah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more. I imagine I would be more used to the other one we tried out.
Yeah.
But it's.
Just, by the way, just for a bit of reference to you guys watching, we tried the TDK red inductor and it was just too scratchy for us to make any sensible use of. So we went straight to the Clyde Mccoy. And what do you think to this wah?
It sounds incredible. It's a lot more Jimmy.
Right.
Like kind of mixing it with the fuzz and getting a bit more gain from it. It sounds a bit more Jimi Hendrixy than a kind of Stevie thing. I think Stevie's was a bit more. I think it was less mids focused and a bit more wide ranged. But I think that kind of the like. The kind of higher pitch stuff. It kind of. That fits the fuzz a bit more for Jimmy, but for Stevie, I think it's a bit more. I think it's a bit more of that kind of TDK red inductor kind of thing.
Right.
It's a great board and a great rig to mix up with.
It is. It's mate, this whole combination of this guitar, that pedal board, these amps. Again, I think
The EVs.
The EVs make a huge difference. It's the sound, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of put any combination. You could do kind of a 87 style thing with the clean machine and the
Marshall.
the Plexi style amp, and it would add a whole bunch of differences, but it would have the clarity from the clean machine and the low end from the Marshall. But I think the way that this is with the Vibroverb, the Deluxe, and the two cabinets, I think it just adds that. I think that's kind of the most iconic Stevie thing.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that would be different is a super reverb instead of a Deluxe. But I think the Deluxe drives it a bit more and adds a bit more of the character of three other amps.
Yes. I wonder how much louder it gets though, the more amps you have. Because you said before that, was it Rene said that Stevie was the equivalent of a jumbo jet taking off?
That kind of thing. I think it was 130 decibels behind plexiglass, which is like, you cannot be in the same room for about 5 minutes.
Interesting, just to see how you think it
Also, I've got a decibel meter on my phone, so I want to test this.
Is that picking it up actually? Oh yeah, that's cool. So we should have left that there the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, it might be. Oh, it's maybe don't put the decibel meter there.
I'll hold the decibel meter.
Okay.
$113.
113.
You think like 20 decibels louder, and that would have been Stevie?
I can't quite gauge that though. Is that monstrously louder or is it?
Painfully loud.
Just a bit more.
Painfully.
Really?
It's a Philip Sayskin.
Yeah. What was that? 113.
113.1.
Should try red through that.
Oh yeah.
Rhys needs to try red.
Oh yeah.
Max.
120 decibels.
Still not louder than Stevie.
I feel weird because I'm playing it, but I'm sort of inflicting my own pain by doing it. But it's like, can't stop it. But it's got to try the wire quickly. Wow.
Do you mind if I mess around? Just I want to see what the amp can do with the. Because I mean, one of my favorite effects is the Octavia with the wah. This wah is so good.
It sounds great, doesn't it, actually?
The other cool effect is
Show us how you do that. That's the proper way to do it.
that's with the nails, how he did it.
But just quickly, show us how you do that. You're actually catching it with your nails.
It's with this bit of your nails. You just.
Oh. You've showed me pictures today on your phone of some of Stevie's rigs, and it's like he had like a wall of amps, didn't he?
I think the recording for Instep had 36.
36
all
amps.
at once.
Right.
I could be wrong about that, but I think a lot of them broke a lot of the time, and that's where the rumor of them all being at once was because of the splitter boxes and things like that. I think from memory the Soul to Soul session had about 20. And it's just because he was trying to get the biggest sound he could. And obviously no one could really do that now because, you know...
Well, we're trying to get there. We're doing our best.
Got 2 amps running through 2 cabinets,
yeah.
including their own speakers, and it's already sounding massive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the big thing, is it's like 2 amps, 2 cabinets, and it's already pushing so much air. You can only imagine what 6 amps would do with 7 different cabinets, including the...
No wonder that, you know, these guys go deaf, is it, when they get older, because it's a lot of...
Yeah, I'd say even a Deluxe in a small room would do enough damage. I was looking at the El Macambo set.
Oh yeah,
that was
Vibroverb.
That was a Vibroverb and 2 supers.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was in a tiny club, and they had to turn the amps around, and I can only imagine what that was like live, because it was so, knowing how he would set amps, which is something that also people don't really know about, because obviously when you roll the volume back, it adds a lot of treble. So he was using a lot more bass than people think. He kind of set things around 6 and then roll it back or roll it up from there.
When you've had chats with guys like Tommy Katona, do you guys butt heads sometimes with certain, because you must both have your own, you know, you've heard different things from different people, and like say the internet's a bizarre place where...
It's like, go to the people who know it, and I think Tommy's a good example of that, but you still hear that stuff and it does put questions in your head.
Yeah.
Because
So you didn't have a fist fight with them?
no, but it's like if you speak to this person first, let me know. Like Renee or people who were around him. I think a big example of that was the let me know what's happened or what's this about when you find out. Because people, I mean, this is a lot of information from 40 years ago, so you kind of need to make sure it's upheld and people know what they're talking about instead of rumors. And I've heard from this guy who knew a friend who knew this guy. You kind of need to know direct.
It's like what we said on the podcast, you know, there's rumours of Stevie playing 18s, and it's like, you know, it's not true. He was, you know, 11 to a 13 kind of guy. Maybe went up to 14s once, but it's like, it's not, you can't believe your mates down the pub all the time, can you?
No, I think that's a big forum thing, but this setup is kind of, unless we grabbed a whole bunch of cables, I think this is about as close as it can physically get before.
Yeah, I feel like this is drawing line at a good spot, because again, we could plug in the Fuchs clean machine and we could plug in the Marshall, but you know, where did you draw the line?
I mean, if you were to do like a mid-80s Stevie thing, it'd be the clean machine with this.
Yeah.
For like couldn't stand the weather and stuff like that. But the later stuff would have been all of it. But you can, with enough tweaking, you can kind of get all of it just from 2 amps or even 1. I mean, we cut off the Vibroverb at one point. It was just a bit smaller of a sound.
100%. It's not like it suddenly changes everything, is it? It's adding elements to then the accumulation of all those smaller things add up to the...
And I think a good example of that is that pedal show thing with Scott McKeon. It's just elements added and added and added. Yeah. I think the Fender thing started that, and then it went on to 2 Fenders, 3 Fenders, and then it carried on.
And then, like, say you do all that, and then you're still missing his hands.
Yeah.
So it's a fruitless task.
Big part is, as much as people don't hear it or don't like to hear it, it's all in the hands.
So thanks a lot for tuning in. But yeah, on that note, we probably should wrap up soon, because you do have to leave at some point. But yeah, mate, thank you so much for coming today and educating me, and hopefully a lot of you guys watching, because you are a wealth of knowledge of not only the Stevie tone, but as a player yourself. It's been awesome to see your guitar. Thanks for testing our pedals so ferociously. And but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you check out Rhys on Instagram, because he's taking over the world one blues club at a time. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers.
Honestly, that amp, the cabinet and the
He's
amp.
gonna go home and go,